It is the winter of 1943. The war is at a knife's edge, and the Allied forces are staring down a geographical nightmare. British and American troops have successfully pushed the German army out of North Africa, but advancing further into Axis territory requires crossing the Mediterranean. Looking at this map of the Mediterranean, there is only one logical stepping stone to the European mainland: Sicily. It sits right off the toe of Italy, a perfect gateway island. Because the route is obvious, the German High Command knows exactly where to position their forces. If Allied soldiers launch a direct assault, they will be stepping onto beaches heavily locked down by Axis defensive lines. To avoid a total massacre, the Allies need Hitler to look the other way. Inside a London office, two British intelligence officers, Ewan Montague and Charles Cholmondeley, propose a radical solution. They want to convince the German military that the invasion is coming from somewhere else. They plan to execute this deception without using double agents or fake radio signals. They are going to use a corpse. The operation requires finding a body, dressing it in a Marine's uniform, and planting fabricated top-secret invasion plans. They will then drop the body off the coast of Spain, a known hub for German intelligence, and let the tide carry the documents straight into enemy hands. As one of the planners noted in his private diary, "We were either going to pull off the greatest con in military history, or we were going to look like complete madmen, possibly both." Sourcing a body in wartime Britain presents a harsh logistical challenge. The corpse has to be fresh enough to pass medical inspection and show physical signs consistent with dying in a plane crash at sea. After weeks of searching, they locate a 34-year-old Welshman named Glyndwr Michael. He had recently died alone in a London hospital after ingesting rat poison. Michael lived his life entirely off the grid. He was a drifter with no family to claim him, no friends to ask where he went, and no paper trail to expose the operation. The British military took custody of the man whom society had completely ignored. This forgotten drifter was about to be weaponized. The intelligence team erases Glyndwr Michael's identity and creates Captain William Martin of the Royal Marines. To make Martin a three-dimensional human being, they fill his pockets with ordinary artifacts of life. They pack ticket stubs, a stern overdraft notice from a London bank, and a photograph of a fictional fiancé, complete with deeply affectionate love letters written by a female intelligence officer. With the persona established, they plant the payload. Carefully forged correspondence between senior Allied commanders suggests in highly casual military language that Sicily is merely a decoy. This map shows the false targets laid out in the letters: Greece and Sardinia.
On the morning of April 30, 1943, the British submarine HMS Seraph surfaces silently. Off the Spanish coast, the crew slides a metal canister containing the body into the freezing Atlantic. As the submarine crew watches the canister disappear, the transformation is complete. Glyndwr Michael is gone. In his place is a man with a life so detailed that anyone reading his letters would feel they knew him. Within hours, the body washes ashore. Spanish fishermen recover the corpse, and local authorities process the belongings. Exactly as planned, German intelligence operatives in the area are tipped off. The agents photograph the contents of Martin's pockets and rush the film to Berlin. The documents land on the desk of Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, the head of German military intelligence. Canaris studies the personal letters, reviews the military correspondence, and verifies their authenticity.
He sends a message up the chain of command, and Adolf Hitler accepts the intelligence as absolute fact. The German military rapidly restructures its defensive lines. Panzer divisions are pulled out of Sicily and sent to Greece. General Erwin Rommel is dispatched to oversee the Balkans, and troops lay minefields along the wrong coastlines. The Axis command reorganizes its southern European defenses based entirely on the personal correspondence of a man who never drew a breath. On July 10, 1943, 160,000 Allied troops hit the beaches of Sicily. Because the bulk of the German forces are waiting in Greece, the invading armies meet only a fraction of the resistance they anticipated. Sicily falls in 38 days. The rapid success opens the Italian campaign and leads to the overthrow of Mussolini within weeks. Most importantly, historians estimate this deception saved the lives of up to 40,000 Allied soldiers. The body was buried in a Spanish cemetery under a headstone bearing the name Captain William Martin. The real identity of the man in that grave remained highly classified until the British government opened the files in 1996. A homeless civilian who died alone in a London hospital walked into the headquarters of the Third Reich and misdirected an entire army.